So that time that you're spending editing your podcast interview, it really doesn't need to take as long as it does. That is, if you plan accordingly and ask the right questions. But what are the right questions? That's exactly what we're diving into today, how to plan your podcast interview to encourage answers that will let you spend less time editing and more time planning your next viral interview. Imagine this. Each question you ask not only captivates your audience, but also unfolds in a way that's already primed for social media, needing minimal tweaks to go viral. That is the power of intentional question planning. It's not just about reducing editing time. It's about crafting interviews that are engaging, shareable, and packed with value right from the recording. Let's start with 5 tips to achieve this, and then we're going to move on to 10 questions that you can steal for your next interview. Tip 1 is to design questions for storytelling. People love stories. They're engaging, they're memorable, and they're incredibly shareable. Craft questions that invite your guests to share personal anecdotes, challenges that they've overcome, or pivotal moments in their career. Tip number 2 is to incorporate trending topics. Ask your guests for their take on the latest industry news, innovations, or controversies. This keeps your content timely and increases its shareability as listeners are more likely to engage and share with content that's part of a larger conversation. Tip number 3 is to ask open-ended questions that prompt reflection. Questions that prompt reflection or require a thoughtful response tend to yield richer, more detailed answers. Ask your guests about lessons learned, advice for newcomers, or predictions for the future. These responses often require less editing and can easily be highlighted as standalone, wisdom-packed clips. Tip number 4 is to encourage practical takeaways. Questions that lead guests to share actionable advice or tips provide immediate value to your listeners. This not only makes your podcast a go-to resource, but it also creates shareable content that listeners will want to pass along to others in their network. And tip number 5 is to use contrasting questions. Ask your guests to compare past and present experiences, debunk common myths, or share unpopular opinions. These questions often lead to surprising answers that spark curiosity and debate among your audience. This kind of content is gold for social media, encouraging engagement and discussion with minimal editing required for impact. By integrating these 5 tips into your interview planning, you're both streamlining your editing process and setting the stage for your podcast to thrive on social media. And it all starts with asking the right questions. So let's get into it. Here are 10 questions designed for any niche that you can steal for your next interview. These aren't your run-of-the-mill questions. They're designed to make your guest and your audience think, feel, and share your content. So question 1, if you could send a message to yourself 10 years ago, what would you say and why? This one is personal, reflective, and often leads to powerful advice that resonates widely. Question number 2, what is a common myth about your industry that you'd like to debunk? This one positions your guest as an expert and can lead to eye-opening discussions. Question 3, can you share a failure that, in hindsight, was a turning point for your success? This one works because stories of overcoming obstacles are universally inspiring and relatable. Question number 4, what is one book or resource that you wish everyone in your field would read? This answer will offer immediate value and actionable takeaways for your audience. Question 5, if you had unlimited resources, what project would you undertake and why? This one fuels aspirational thinking and big ideas. Perfect for engagement. Question 6, what is the most unexpected feedback you've ever received and how did it affect your work? This one is relatable and motivational, showcasing resilience, and everyone can relate to that. Question 8, what does a day outside of work look like for you and how does it influence your professional life? This question humanizes the guest, adding depth to their professional persona. Question number 9, what's one unpopular opinion that you have about your industry? This is a good one. It sparks debate and can lead to viral discussions. Question 10, what emerging trend or innovation excites you the most? This one highlights forward-thinking insights appealing to industry enthusiasts. By integrating these questions into your interviews, you're not just conducting conversations, you're crafting episodes with built-in shareable moments. What questions can you think of that would spark the best responses? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you want to know the easiest way to create social media clips with literally the click of a button, then watch this video next. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for tons more content on interviews, podcasts, video creation, and more. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Bridget, and I'll see you next time.